If a fierce and ruthless turtle ever attacks you one day, now you know how to defend yourself. Some species of young birds think that food will automatically jump into their mouths, as their mothers fed them this way when they were babies. They will learn the hard way. Have you ever wondered what would win? A water cannon or a flamethrower? No? Well, here's the answer. What do you think? It looks pretty epic. In Germany, there is a traffic light where you can play Pong with the player on the other side of the street to make the wait more fun. This was the base video used to create the animation during the song Zero to Hero in the animated version of Hercules. Check out this incredible table created by Drew Builds Stuff. It has a real waterfall and pumping system. Debu creates some of the cutest dioramas on YouTube. This time he made a Kirby pudding. Peter Matarazzo, who plays Dustin in Stranger Things, suffers from cleidocranial dysplasia, a genetic disorder that affects bone and tooth development. He has no collarbones. Portable Slide is the world's first triple-screen extension for laptops. They work with just one USB. Just place it behind the screen of your laptop, extend it, and adjust it to your liking. Onion skin is hydrophobic. This makes them appear transparent underwater. Did you know that you can make perfect ice spheres at home? This aluminum press melts the ice cubes with the help of gravity. Look how perfect it is. Bart Ostalowski is a Polish pilot who suffered a serious motorcycle accident that caused him to lose both arms. However, this did not stop him from pursuing his dream. He learned to drive with his feet. He's amazing. This is how they prepare food at McDonald's on the busiest days. They are quite skilled and fast. This is how vending machines recognize fake coins. When you insert the coin, it is examined in detail by a light sensor that checks its size and shape. A couple of electromagnets verify that the material of the coin matches. Multiball is an interactive device that combines technology, learning, sports, and video games. It can be installed on any wall. Looks pretty fun, don't you think? This is how synthetic fabric is made for wig creation. This contraption is how figure skaters practice their tricks safely. This harness prevents them from falling when learning new moves. Dust in Sky shows us one of the most elaborate and complicated bubble tricks, a fire tornado. All your life you have tied your shoelaces incorrectly. This is the easiest and fastest way. In Nepal, the Pringles potato mascot has different facial expressions depending on the flavor. What you see on the screen is a mailbox for abandoned babies at the Matris Domini convent in Italy. This system was created in 1198 when Pope Innocent III ordered monasteries to have compartments for anonymously delivering abandoned children. When a child is left inside, an alarm sounds alerting the nuns. This curious toilet belongs to the artist Ali Spagnola, who as an art project planted thousands of chia seeds on her toilet. She watered them 3 times over 7 days, and this was the result. Can you imagine what it feels like to sit on it? If you want to see more of her projects, visit her TikTok. When you reach 10 years working at Pixar, you are awarded with a copper statue of Buzz Lightyear. When you reach 20, you get one of Woody. Cherry Bag is a water purifying bag designed to capture, treat, and store contaminated freshwater sources. Just mix the water with the powder. This will remove contaminants by 99.99%. New Zealand is the country that consumes the most ice cream in the world, 28.4 liters per person per year. In Asia, there are self-service stores that only sell instant ramen. There is a huge variety of noodles, toppings, and condiments. When you choose your favorite combination, you go to one of these machines that heats it up and prepares it for you. Humans love to show off their muscles when exercising, but did you know we are not the only ones? Scientists have discovered that male kangaroos deliberately show off their biceps to females to get their attention. What do you think these things on the screen are? I assure you they are not what you're thinking. They are pillows. They were used by the Egyptians to raise their heads off the ground, away from insects and dust. It is believed that they were covered with a soft material like linen. Did you know that the official guide to the Louvre Museum in Paris is inside a Nintendo 3DS? They lend it to you when you enter. This is the concept of a stadium with a capacity of 1 million people. It was designed by Paul Pfeiffer. Can you imagine what it would be like when it's time to leave? The Voxon VX1 holographic display was inspired by Star Wars. It is capable of reproducing interactive 3D images. You don't need special glasses to see the images in 3D. This is an ocean ribbon worm. What you see coming out of its body is a branched, sticky appendage that it uses to hunt and feed. We could say it's its mouth. The laundry jet is a vacuum-powered suction duct that transports clothing from any room with installed ports to the laundry room. Just throw the dirty clothes in. Most geckos cannot blink. They lick their eyes to keep them clean and moist. Joni Lemercier uses high-pressure water and gas particles to create 3D projections in the air. They look incredible. This is what male stick insects of the genus Caryoptera look like. They look like toys. This is the landscape photograph that holds the record for the longest line of sight on Earth. That is the greatest distance captured. You can see 443 kilometers. The Alps are seen from the Pyrenees. In Saudi Arabia, it gets so hot that the asphalt melts. This is how high-speed ice skaters warm up their muscles before a competition. If Stranger Things were an anime, Octopi created an opening for this show in the style of an anime. A pizzeria in Vinny in Brooklyn, New York, delivers its pizzas in somewhat peculiar boxes. They are made of pizza dough as well. If you're still hungry, you can eat the box. Did you know that Buzz Lightyear has really traveled to space? In 2008, he was aboard the International Space Station, to infinity and beyond. If you place M&M's chocolates in water, you will see that after a while the M's start to peel off. This is because they are made of edible paper. Did you know that you can make popcorn by putting the cob directly into the microwave? You can't do it with any corn. You need a variety known as popcorn maize, which is much harder and drier. Lasers are used for many things. One of them is to clean. It is used to remove rust, paint, and other contaminants from metal surfaces. This is one of the most beautiful watches in the world, the Zodiac Solar Astronomy Watch. It is made up of 447 parts, including 2 rotating platforms on which the planets of the solar system move, each one made with a precious stone. It costs more than $400,000. This was the puppet they used to embody the xenomorph in the Alien 3 movie. Each of its limbs was controlled by a person. The truth is that its movement is very realistic and fluid, one of the best practical effects in cinema. This is a verocatenophore, a genus of marine comb jellyfish with cilia along their body that they use to move. They are really beautiful. Simon Berger creates art by hitting sheets of glass with a hammer. Look at the incredible shapes he achieves. This is one of his latest creations, a 3-dimensional human skull. This is a Terra Neser that the Kaguya probe captured from the moon. This is how they water crops with condensation from the night before. All it takes is for an outside force to move the net a little so that all the water falls on the crops. Did you know that if you type Sonic the Hedgehog in Google, a photo of the character will appear on the right? If you click on it, it comes to life. If you continue doing this, he will become supersonic. Did you know that in most American football stadiums there is a room called the Sniper Nest or Sniper's Nest, where you can observe the crowd and take action in case there is an attack? Look how strong medieval armor was. Although if you were hurt in this part, there wasn't much you could do. This is one of the rarest insects you will ever see. Gongylus conguitos, or better known as the fiddler mantis, swings in this way to imitate the movements of leaves in the air. The elf owl is the smallest species of owl in the world. This one you are seeing is an adult female that has reached its maximum size, about 12 centimeters tall. Kotaro, the otter, doesn't like this box getting wet for some reason. Look how he protects her. This is the fractal suit that Tom Holland wore during the scenes where Spider-Man was wearing his suit. These shapes allowed the animators to accurately position the actor's movements and then replace them with a computer-generated model. This is the goal with the most tunnels in the history of football. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was achieved by the Japanese player Takefusa Kubo. This is what public bathrooms are like in Norway. Can you imagine they're doing number 2? This person created a robot that punishes you when you're procrastinating. If the camera detects that you are using your cell phone, it starts beeping and dazzling your eyes with lights. This is the perfect tool for medical students to learn about the human body and all its parts. It is completely interactive. All universities should have one. Do you notice anything strange on the X-ray of this snake? Yes, it's a mousetrap. The snake ate the rat and the trap. The gastric juices from its stomach dissolved the rodent, but not the trap. They had to remove it in surgery. There are so few people living in Iceland that you can send mail to a person without them having their address. It is enough to draw a drawing and give simple instructions. Kite Cruise is a nuclear-powered 5,000-person hotel in the sky concept. Today, it is nothing more than an idea, but perhaps it will be possible in the future. Can you imagine spending several days in a flying hotel? Most plants are green because of chlorophyll, a pigment that absorbs sunlight and converts it into energy. Did you know that you can extract chlorophyll from a plant and leave it completely transparent? Look at the process. These are Mojo Vision, the world's first augmented reality contact lenses. They have a micro LED display the size of a grain of sand with 70,000 pixels. The glasses will show information in real-time augmented reality, nearby objects or dangers, and will even help you see better in the dark. The first versions will hit the market very soon. These are the mannequins of the future. They have 9 joints to accommodate them in different ways. They can also increase or decrease their size with the push of a button. The scientific name for raccoons is Procyon lothor, which means washing bear. By watching this video, we can realize the reason for its name. Look at this cotton candy wash. How sad. The animal with the longest claws in history was a dinosaur called Tyrannosaurus. They were almost a meter long, hanging from his body like the arms of the young Scissorhands. Power Taekwondo is a variation of the original discipline practiced in South Korea. As if it were a Mortal Kombat-type fighting game, you and your opponent fight until one of your life bars runs out. Life falls are counted using sensors in the protective equipment. This is one of the rooms at the Terme Milano Spa in Milan, where you can relax in the water while a storm is simulated. It looks interesting. In Toy Story 1, we can see how Disney's letters and copyright are on Buzz's butt. It looks like these lights have fireworks inside them. This is one of the most original desktop speakers. A black magnetic fluid, known as ferrofluid, interacts with an electromagnet to produce movement to the beat of music. Neodymium glass, also known as alexandrite glass, changes color depending on lighting conditions. In daylight, it is purple with blue fluorescent lighting. This is the art of Kenichi Kanazawa. With the help of sound and vibrations, it creates beautiful patterns in the sand. See how each different sound creates a new pattern. He makes the invisible visible. This is how the Mahjong game tiles look. People walking through a rotating tunnel experience vertigo and loss of balance even though their bodies are not moving. This happens because the brain receives conflicting signals, which deceives our senses. A few years ago, it became fashionable to decorate your nails with live ants. The truth is that we are glad that it has gone out of fashion. This is the largest functional motorcycle in the world. It weighs 5 tons and is 6 times larger than a common motorcycle. This is the largest functional Lego roller coaster to date. Its track is 26 meters long. More than 90,000 Legos were used in its construction. This is the Subsucker table. It looks pretty fun. Did you know that bees poop? The excrement of a healthy bee is yellow and somewhat sticky. They never defecate inside the hive. Can you imagine playing Mario Kart in real life? Well, if one day you visit London, you can do it. Chaos Karts combines the world of go-karts with that of video games. The track is projected onto the floor. You must collect coins and power-ups. The latter allow you to throw projectiles at other players. Look what happens if they hit someone. In Sweden, it is common to use banana and kiwi as toppings on pizzas. Sometimes, when there is a lot of humidity and little wind, it is possible to see these entry vortices coming out of the airplane turbines. During mating season, bald eagles perform acrobatics together to court each other. They interlock their talons and spin around. Did you know that there is a Pokémon fossil museum inspired by the video game museums? It is located in Japan. Gujo Hachiman in Japan is the world's most famous food replica production center. They use all kinds of materials to recreate any food. Watch how they make lettuce with a little wax. These are the Catasetum orchids, and they have a very curious way of reproducing. When a pollinator insect enters their flower, it triggers a mechanism that launches a pollen sac with an adhesive pad towards the insect. When it visits female flowers, it will spread the pollen on them. Toru Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man, recently showed his first designs and sketches of the game. This is how tracking devices used to be attached to whales in the past. It was very stressful for the animals. Nowadays, this has changed thanks to drones. See how easy it is? They just drop them when they come up to breathe. It doesn't hurt them because they are suction cups that stick to their skin. Artist Carl Johnson creates silhouettes of people's profiles when they are not looking. See his amazing scissor skills. This is how some stores create custom-sized boxes to ship their products. They first scan the product and, according to its dimensions, cut a cardboard box to its size. These are the most peculiar bathrooms you will ever see. They are located in the Moomin Papa Cafe in Japan. I hope you can use the bathroom with compassion. This t-shirt will make you feel virtual reality on your own body. It's like a second skin that will make you physically feel what your avatar is experiencing. Can you imagine playing Mortal Kombat with it? Did you know there is motorcycle football? It's called Motoball. Each team is made up of 4 motorized players and 1 on foot, the goalkeeper. The ball is a little larger to make things easier. Dangerous but fun. These cages are used by National Geographic and BBC cameramen to capture close-up and safe footage of bear movements and behaviors. Watch how this mother and her 2 cubs test it out. Irish lanker has the widest tongue in the world. It measures 8.6 centimeters, the same size as a credit card. Some medical centers are using virtual reality glasses to distract children when they receive an injection. Watch as a character places a magic gem on the child's arm just as they are being injected. This cheerful stimulus distracts them and keeps them from focusing on the pain. Look at these leaves floating in the water. Lies. They are not leaves, but fish. They are called leaf fish. Their name is not very amazing, but their camouflage is. This site allows you to animate your drawings or those of your children. All you have to do is take a picture of the drawing with a white background, upload it to the page, follow the instructions, and you're done. You can choose from dozens of preset animations. This is how Steve Gerald filmed the shots of Firehouse Ops Mall. Watch the behind the scenes. Watch how the jewel beetles take off. This is Matt Benedetto's new unnecessary invention, a jewelry cooler as he calls it. It connects directly to the air conditioning vent and a hose leads it to your private parts. It doesn't sound so crazy during the summer days. This is Hypebeast's new creation, Charizard sneakers. Watch as they actually produce fire. This is the goat with the largest ears in the world. Each one measures 53 centimeters. The city of Saint-Malo in France has the highest tides in all of Europe. These houses act as a protective barrier for the rest of the city. They have windows reinforced with 4 panes of glass. This is a termite queen. What you see is her abdomen. From there, up to 30,000 eggs can come out per day. That's practically 1 egg every 3 seconds. They can measure up to 11 centimeters. They are so big that they can't move much. Do you want to remove an object or text from an image, but don't know how to use editing programs? Go to magiceraser.io, upload your image, and select the area you want to erase. These incredible slow-motion videos are filmed by the user Arte de Pintar. He uses water with cornstarch and soap to give it greater viscosity. The results are fascinating. Panasonic has created this robot to wash people's hair. It is extremely useful to help workers in hospitals and nursing homes or those with limited mobility. The Waitomo Cave is inhabited by hundreds of luminous Arachnocampa, a firefly species exclusive to New Zealand. Look at how the ceiling looks. This is how the ligaments and joints of your knee move when you bend your leg. Can you imagine how fun it must be to ride a bike on water slides? YouTuber and student Cedric created Melon Boy, a variant of Nintendo's Game Boy inside a watermelon. He used a Raspberry Pi board connected to a small LCD screen, buttons, and an external battery. In school, we were taught that the fastest sperm is the one that fertilizes the egg, but according to recent studies, this is not true. As you can see in this animation, many sperm try to enter at the same time. The egg is the one that selects the best candidate and lets him in. This moth is called the death's head hawk moth. Now you will see why. This is the current world record for the highest pug stick jump, 3.66 meters high. Brachycephalus genus frogs have evolved to be extremely small, but this has come at a cost. Their vestibular system is so small that it prevents them from maintaining balance when they jump. They are the clumsiest frogs that exist. To celebrate the launch of the Galaxy S4, Samsung challenged people at Zurich Station not to lose sight of a phone for 60 minutes. If they succeeded, they won a Galaxy S4. Of course, it wasn't easy. They planned all kinds of distractions, from police dogs, a couple fighting next to them, and even a motorcycle accident. In the end, this man succeeded. It is still one of the best advertising campaigns to date. This is a gaming stationary bike. Yes, that exists. The idea is to have fun while exercising. It has a 24-inch screen, a video card, and custom controls. Now you have no excuse not to exercise, but wait, it costs $2,000. For some reason, LEGO found it necessary to add an anus to the tiger in their new Creator logo set. John Edmark designs and prints these sculptures that are already works of art on their own. But see what happens when they rotate on a surface and are projected with a stroboscopic light. The rotation speed of the sculpture and the stroboscopic speed are synchronized to create the illusion of movement. Look at the size difference between worker ants and the queen ant of the leafcutter species. It's immense. She can live up to 20 years and lay over 150 million eggs. These are the largest commercial tablets you can buy. Their touchscreen measures 70 inches. Can you imagine arm wrestling with a bear? Doesn't sound like a good idea, right? Well, Anton Kostenko and his friends did it. Watch how the bear wins once, but is defeated in others. The truth is, if the bear wanted to, he would beat them all together, wouldn't he? Only Russians come up with these things. In the style of the movie Wanted, James Dean is able to curve his arrows. He explains that to achieve this, the arrow must be placed higher than normal, and the bow held at a 45-degree angle. This causes the arrow to curve in the first few meters and then straighten. Sproje Hoofdstrasse is the narrowest street in the world. At its widest point, it measures 50 centimeters, and at its narrowest, only 32 centimeters. You have to pass by sideways to avoid hitting the walls. It is located in Germany and has become a destination. Every time they shoot a film from the Conjuring universe, a priest is brought in to bless the sets, editing, and actors. Better safe than sorry. This is how 500 people snapping their fingers at the same time sounds. Did you know that polarized lenses help distinguish fish in the water? These eliminate excess light on surfaces. You may remember that creepy scene from The Ring 2 when Samara climbs up a stone wall like a spider. This was not a computer-generated effect. Contortionist actress Bonnie Morgan is able to walk in this way. The Ecuadorian nymph is one of the most curious insects on the planet, apparently resembling a kernel of corn. Its peculiar shape is due to the wax it produces from glands around its body. This repels water and helps protect it from the weather. Did you know that pillow fights are a sport? They even have their own league, the PFC. The rules are simple. They face off in one-on-one combat where only one pillow is allowed to hit the opponent. As for defense, everything is allowed. Did you know that in some countries the color of the accessories you put on your dog has a meaning? If a dog has a red collar, it means they tend to be irritable and aggressive if provoked. Yellow, nervous. Green, very approachable and sociable. Orange, dogs with a fiery temperament. This is the most expensive jacket in the world. It is designed with 460 carats of perfect diamonds and black python skin. It can be yours for $10 million. This is what a volcanic eruption looks like from space. This 12-hour time-lapse was captured by a satellite. Sea urchins have 5 teeth arranged in a circle on the underside of their bodies. They use them to cling and scrape algae off rocky surfaces. Koalas make a peculiar sound when they try to mate, or in case they feel threatened. During the mating season, male great potus grow elongated feather on each wing of about 38 centimeters. It is almost twice the size of the bird. When they fly, these feathers go back, but when courting the female, they raise them like banners to get her attention. For the release of the Batman movie, Little Scissors released a pizza shaped like the superhero's logo, according to them. To us, it looks more like... This is the largest foosball table in the world. It measures 137 meters long. The Pallas's cat is one of the oldest wild cat species that exist. It is distinguished by its round fur. Watch how it steps on its tail so its paws don't get cold in the snow. In Spider-Man: No Way Home, the articulated arms of the villain Doc Ock were entirely made by computer. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, they were made with puppets operated by 4 people. Each controlled a different arm. They rehearsed a lot to synchronize the movements with Alfred Molina. Which do you think looks better? Harry Melling, the actor who played Dudley in Harry Potter, lost so much weight so quickly that for his last appearance in The Deathly Hallows, he almost had to be played by a different actor. They used a fat suit and makeup. Check out how clever killer whales are. With their fins, they create a wave to knock the seal off a piece of ice. The blue mud dauber wasp, or sometimes called the drumming wasp, has a curious defense mechanism. When they feel threatened, they produce a rhythmic sound by opening and closing their wings. They sound like an army's drums. Some aquariums and zoos organize bubble parties for penguins. They seem to enjoy it a lot. A few years ago, the Kilauea volcano in Hawaii gave us a smile with the lava from its crater. It looks like a Pixar character. Did you know that Mario Day is celebrated on March 10th? The first 3 letters of his name, Mar, are taken as the diminutive of March, and the last 2 letters, Io, are replaced by the number 10. People suffering from tongue cancer often lose part of the organ. One solution is to graft tissue from the patient's leg or abdomen. This is Cameron, who defeated cancer and now has a 2-colored tongue. This is the Loridia phoenixus, named for its resemblance to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker makeup. You can clearly see the smile of the popular villain on his body. How tall can a tower of a single 2x2 Lego brick be before the bottom piece breaks? A mathematician calculated that it takes 375,000 pieces stacked on top of each other to break the bottom piece. Such a tower would measure more than 3.5 kilometers. Who comes up with these things? Some luxury cars have cleaners for the cameras of their vehicles. If you are thinking of getting butt implants, tell your surgeon not to go overboard, or airport security will stop you every time you try to fly. The caterpillar of the lappet moth has this curious pattern on its head. Some say it looks like a happy face, others that it looks like a skull. Rini Ivan has spent more than $100,000 on tattoos. Almost his whole body is inked, even his armpits. Did you know that there are pink sand beaches? The color is due to the presence of a microscopic marine organism called foraminifera that, when disintegrated by water action, accumulates in the sand. To give actors and animators a reference of the size of the dog in the Clifford movie, the production designed this giant 3-meter-tall puppet of the dog. The first thing some species of snails do when they are born is eat the shell of their own egg. They obtain a lot of calcium they will need for the creation of their shells from here. In the Netherlands, there is a museum of the human body whose facade is literally a person. Inside, there are exhibits of different parts and organs of the human body. While other countries put important things or people on their coins, India prefers to put fingers and hands. A thumb for 1 rupee, this gesture for the 2 rupee coin, and a closed fist for the 50 rupee coin. Do you know why airplanes have a hole in the back? If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you quickly. This is the APU exhaust, the auxiliary power unit. First triple backflip on a BMX bike. It was achieved by Kieran Riley. This is what a cold air funnel looks like from the cockpit of an airplane. If a funnel cloud touches the ground, it becomes a tornado. This is how clothes hangers are made. This machine is responsible for cutting and bending the metal in different parts. The myth that the Eskimos kiss this way exists. This is false. This is how they show affection. Instead of kissing cheeks with their lips, they do it with their noses by inhaling a bit of air. The more affection there is, the greater the pressure of the nose. Hasbro announced its Selfie Series action figure collection, which will allow people to put their faces on their favorite toys. All you have to do is scan your face with the Hasbro Pulse app and choose which toy you want to include it in. On average, adults are in a bad mood for 1 hour and 52 minutes a day, almost 2 hours a day. Of course, some much more than that. These are the larvae of starfish. As you can see, they already have their characteristic shape. They roam the ocean until they find a place to emerge. Do you see how soft the plant of the elephant's foot is? This hard and fatty tissue acts as a cushion and makes their steps silent. This company makes human hair mats. Before you say how disgusting, listen to what they are used for. It turns out that human hair is very good at retaining oil and motor oil. A kilogram of hair can hold up to 5 times its weight in oil. See how they clean oil in water instantly. These structures, called maxillipeds, are the crab's equivalent of hands. They use them to hold their food and clean their eyes of sand. How satellites map our planet. The Shibuya Crossing in Tokyo, Japan, is the busiest pedestrian crossing in the world, with up to 3,000 people crossing at once. This is the Arquus cornutus, a spider native to Australia with a triangular body. Watch how it moves. This is the caterpillar of the bush brown butterfly, Caecolysis gotama. It has become famous for the shape of its face and what looks like cat ears. In Japan, they call it the Hello Kitty caterpillar. Samsung is creating a series of robots to help us with household cleaning. This one in particular is called Bot Handy and can load the dishwasher, set the table, pick up dirty clothes, and store groceries. These are lawn aerating machines. They make small holes in the ground about 10 centimeters deep to allow the roots to oxygenate and stay healthy. Stadiums do this a couple of times a year. This is the beetle sphere, better known as the Bachosphere. It is a sculpture by H. Guaner, made from a 1953 Volkswagen. According to many zoologists, the hippopotamus is the most dangerous animal in Africa. In this video, you can check it out. When they are little, they are very cute. But when they grow up, they are one of the most dangerous animals in the world. If you ever see someone using an iPhone in a movie, they are not one of the bad guys or villains. Apple requires as a condition for granting licenses for its products in movies and television that only good characters can operate them on camera. If a character is using an iPhone in a horror movie, they won't end up being the secret killer. Mount Thor in Canada has the longest vertical drop in the world. If you fell from the top, you would fall over a kilometer without hitting anything. This is the fish with the saddest face in the world. Its scientific name is Argyropelicus. They look like lost souls. Did you know that Sprite soda almost became a Fanta flavor? In 1959, Fanta Lime Lemon hit the market. When it arrived in the US market in 1961, they changed the name to Sprite. These are some of the rarest clouds. They are called roll clouds. They are a kind of horizontal tornado that does not touch the ground. They barely maintain their shape for a few minutes. Apparently, cats are also fooled by optical illusions. This is the effect that they are surely seeing. Crocodile eyes are a marvel of anatomy. They have a third translucent eyelid that they close to protect the eyeball. This is Skylight, a glass slide on the facade of one of the tallest buildings in Los Angeles. If you are afraid of heights, we do not recommend it. This is what happens if you touch the Queen's Guard members or their horses. This is one of the best toys in the world. The speed of the car makes the board stick to your fingers. Did you know that in the 1960s, airplanes served buffet-style meals? Carts passed with dozens of different dishes to choose from. Have you ever seen any of these animals? This is the eel goby fish. It lives in muddy waters, and although it may not seem like it, it does have eyes. Those are those tiny dots. This system called Road Zipper expands or decreases lanes on the roads. If there is more traffic in one direction at a certain time, it extends the lanes on that side so that more cars can circulate. Did you know that there is a club for people who have been ejected from an ejector seat of an airplane? Currently, there are 6,000 members. When you join, you receive a commemorative tie. Have you noticed that when you feel like vomiting, your mouth produces more saliva? This is how your body protects your tooth enamel from stomach acid. Rocky Byron can find the center of gravity and balance of any object in just a few seconds. It is truly incredible to see. This is the longest water roller coaster in the world. It is located in China, and the ride is 2.7 kilometers long. Watch the journey firsthand. In this curious red sight video, we can see how many Earths could fit inside other planets in our solar system. 30 in Neptune, 470 in Saturn, and 820 in Jupiter. Atrax robustus, or the Australian funnel-web spider, is the most deadly spider in the world. Its sharp fangs can pierce a toenail. If you do not receive an antidote within 2 hours, it is likely to be your end. This is the position they adopt when they are about to attack. Fortunately, they only live in a region of Australia. Did you pay attention to the feet of the ostriches? They are quite strange. Basically, they have 2 toes. One bears the weight of the bird, and the other provides balance to prevent it from falling. Since the movie Interstellar was released in 2014, only 43 minutes have passed on Miller's planet. This must be one of the best Halloween costumes I have ever seen in my life. Geneva Collier created this lava lamp costume from scratch. Check out some of the process. Art and Fall from the Art Mayor channel builds instruments with unexpected materials. This time, he created a Gibson-style guitar with McDonald's French fries. He used 15 large servings of fries, resin, and glue. The grand result is amazing. On April Fool's Day, Oreo posted this image announcing a new product. A cookie Oreo without the cookie, just the filling. In the end, it turned out to be a prank, although there are versions of their cookies like this. Did you know there is a chain of restaurants where the concept is for the staff to treat you in the worst possible way? It's called Karen's Diner. If you are sensitive or easily upset, we do not recommend going. Surprisingly, the food is very good, even if you have to beg for it to be brought to your table. This is the San Juan scarab beetle, and these are its fan-shaped antennae. These sensory organs allow it to move through the world. They are quite curious and can only be found in Europe. This is the line, the concept of a city in a straight line 170 kilometers long. Here there are no roads or cars, only a central train track that runs through the entire city. It can accommodate up to 9 million people. The neighborhoods, buildings, and houses are arranged in 3 dimensions. The Malayan hadrosaur, also known as the sail-tailed lizard, is an aquatic reptile that lives in New Guinea and the Philippines. They could easily pass for dinosaurs. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, let us know if there is anything you didn't know. I'll read you in the comments.